Yo, what up, boys? Today I have a video talking about the DBD grind. This is something that the community has been asking for, like some adjustment for pretty much ever since the game came out. And if you don't know, the grind has been addressed here and there. Like it was addressed. That's the whole reason why Legacy is a thing, because the grind got a little bit better towards the beginning of the game. Of course, they implemented to where you can get multiple perks. You can get 2 perks in like the level 50 blood webs, level 40 to 50. And now the devs are starting to do another change. So if you don't know, in the dev streams that they did on Tuesday, the 17th, I believe, of May, talked about a bunch of things, but one of the things they talked about was a rework for the progression system. And so basically how it works is now, instead of you getting your teachables at 30, 35, 40, you will now, I believe that's how it is. It could be wrong. I'm trying to like remember off the top of my head. I believe it's that. But instead of you getting your teachable perks, then you will automatically unlock your teachable perks when you prestige. So, and it's tied to the prestige level. So if you get P1 on Bubba, you'll unlock barbecue and chili 1 along with the other teachables on every character. And then you prestige 2, you get barbecue and chili 2 on everybody, unlocked automatically. And then prestige 3, you get barbecue and chili 3 automatically unlocked for everybody. And you may be thinking like, oh, that kind of sucks. Now I have to prestige. But the thing is, prestiging is a little bit different now, to where you don't lose anything upon prestiging. You keep all of your items, add-ons, and offerings. You don't lose any of that. Prestiging, really all it does is it just advances you to the next prestige, and you get like a bloody cosmetic for the first 3 prestiges. And so, and prestiging, like you can now do it infinitely. Well, when this system gets implemented, I believe it's getting implemented within the next few months. You can prestige infinitely, so you can go up to like 1,000,000 prestige hypothetically if you wanted to, just to show you really like the character, you really dump a lot of points into them. But this system is actually really good. And to give you an idea how good the system is, I want to show you guys how it is compared to the old grind with the new grind. And so I pretty much just sat for like an hour, just kind of calculating these numbers, and we're just gonna go over it. First, I'm gonna go over the old grind, and then I'll show you the new grind, and we can compare them. So with the old grind, there are with the Hattie and Dredge coming out this next chapter, there's going to be 107 perks on Survivor, and there's going to be 97 killer perks, with 20 of the perks on the Survivor side being just general perks that you don't need any teachables. You just unlock them just through like the normal blood web, and then 97 killer perks with 16 being general perks. We also got 1 new general perk that's coming with the Dredge. It's like an anti-boon perk, and then you have 81 teachable killer perks. And so what the aim of this new system is to try to rework these teachable perks and how you unlock them. But we're gonna continue how the old system works, and then we'll compare it. So with the old system, prestiging takes around 1.2 million. It could take more, could take less, depending on how your blood webs are, because blood webs are RNG. But it takes around 1.2 million to go from level 1 to level 50. And then if you're going from P0 level 1 to P350, it'll take about 4.8 million. Could take a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on how you spend. And so about 4.8 million, that's the frame of reference we're going with. And then it's like about 3.6 million in order to get to P3 level 1. And so with leveling, you get the 107 survivor perks, of course. That is 321 perk levels, because you got to get all 3 levels of a perk in order to like be done leveling that perk. Across 60 general perk levels for just the general perks, and 261 general or teachable perk levels, and then of course 97 killer perks. You got 291 perk levels, 48 general perk levels, 243. Yeah. And so that is like all the grind assigned to perks. And then after leveling the first 50 levels, you should have around 60 perks. And of course, your blood web could eat one of the perks, which kind of suck. But assuming you get 60 perks, because you get the 2 extra perks when you're leveling the 40 to 50. And so even after you get to level 50, you will still have 131 blood webs left after level 50 in order to max out and get all the perks. And so even after you hit that level 50, you still have 7.8 million of BP that you need for the survivor, and about 6.9 million BP that you need for killer in order to max them out, if that makes sense. And then with the new character grind, let's say like a new character comes out, and if you want to get that new character to P3 max, getting a new character to P3 max, it would take about 12.6 million for survivor, and the new killer would take 11.7 million in order to get them from level 1 to P350 with all perks. So it's quite a bit. And then releveling characters. So if you want to get the new teachables from like new Survivor and Killer onto every other character in the game, takes around 300,000 BP per character in order to get the 3 levels. Could take more, could take less. It can depends on how you level. Across 30 survivors, because like we're not counting the one that just came out. Across 30 survivors, it'd be about 9 million BP. And then with the killers, same deal. Across 27 killers, rather. This is a bit of a typo. 27 killers, it would be about 8.1 million. And so now we calculate the grind added with Hattie and Dredge coming out. And that would be 24 million BP that is added, but just by leveling the new characters. And then re-leveling costs about 17.1 million. And so the total grind added with Hattie and Dredge coming out, it adds another 41.5 million BP of grind to the game. Now, how does that compare to the total grind? Well, if you want to max out all the survivors, it costs about 392.4 million in order to max out all the survivors, 329.2 million in order to max out all the killers, with a total of 721.7 million BP in order to max out everybody. I get everybody to P3 with all the perks in the game. But the thing is this number isn't a flat number. Every single time a new DLC comes out, this number exponentially grows by 1.2 million BP. Now, why does it do that? Because you got to get 600k additional because of, like, you have another character that you have to relevel. Because with the releveling, it's across, like, right now it's across like 30 survivors, 27 killers. But the next chapter will be across 31 survivors and 28 killers, assuming that it's just one killer, one survivor. And so, yeah, 600k more added to the grind because of that. And you also get 600k because of the previous chapter's perks needing to be unlocked on the new character. And so that's a problem. The grind exponentially gets bigger every chapter, and it's already really big. And so it's kind of gotten to a place where not very many people can unlock all the perks that they want, and they can't unlock the builds that they want. So how does this compare to the new system, you may wonder? So the new system, we got right here. So it's the same thing where there's the same amount of general perks, same amount of teachable perks. But the thing is, with prestiging, you need around 1.2 million to go from level 1 to level 50. And of course, it takes about around 4.8 million to get from level 1 to P350. And the thing is, with like the leveling, you have 107 survivor perks with Hattie, 60 general perks. But the thing is, after you level the first 50 levels, you should have all the general perks in the game. You should have every general perk unlocked, and you don't need to unlock the teachables because the teachables will automatically unlock if you have the like corresponding characters prestiged. And so this means that you don't have to unlock these perks again. So the good thing about this is, let's say like the Dredge comes out, the prestige system isn't happening with the Dredge. Let's say like the Dredge comes out and the prestige system is in place. You would automatically have Barbecue and Chili 3 if you have Bubba P3'd. And so you can immediately out of the gate be grinding with that new character, use any of the builds that you want. Oh, I want to use like Make Your Choice, or I want to use Modern Abuse with this character. You can immediately use those perks if you have the previous character's prestige, which is really good. Out of the gate, you can play with whatever build that you want as long as you've already put in the work of prestiging. And the work to put in prestiging isn't really that bad. It's not even just 4.8 million. It's around like 3.6. It's around 4 million, actually. Because you really don't need to get to P350. Really, the level that you need to get to be like maxed out on a character is P3 level 15. And the reason why level 15 is so that you can unlock all the perk slots. Because, you know, like when you are like level 1 with the character, you only have one perk slot that you can use. And then as you level up the character, your perk slots get unlocked. So around level 15 is when like you'll have the perk slots unlocked, and like you can pretty much like stop leveling the character. You don't need to level them anymore. But this is really good because yeah, pretty much after 50 levels, you have all the survivor teachables. Or not teachables, but all the survivor general perks. And then at 44 levels, you'll have all the general perks and killer. So what does this mean for like the new character grind? So the new character grind is just a flat grind. It won't ever go up exponentially because all you need to do is get the character the P3 level 15. That's all you need to do. And so every single chapter, it's just going to cost around, and I say flat, but it's a round because it's RNG with blood webs. But it's going to be like a flat 4 million per survivor, 4 million per killer. Because all you need to do is get them to P315, and then you have their teachables unlocked on everybody at level 3, and you also have like all the perk slots unlocked for that character. And so every chapter adds in 8 million BP worth of grind. That's it. There's no releveling because releveling is obsolete because if you unlock the P3, then you don't have to relevel. I don't even think the releveling is even a thing with this prestige system. And so once you get P3, you have the new perks on everybody level 3. And so the new grind, it adds just a total of 8 million BP compared to the old system, which adds in 41.5 million BP of grind. And again, this grows by 1.2 million every chapter. And then we have the total grind for like the entire game for Survivor being 124 million, Killer being 112 million, and the total grind being 236 million compared to the old grind system of 721.7 million. And again, this grind doesn't exponentially grow. And so while it may seem like it kind of sucks how you have to prestige, if you prestige a character, say you prestige Bubba, really like using Bubba as an example. You P3 Bubba, get him like the P3 level 15. You don't really have to get him level 15 if you don't ever want to play him, but get him to P3, and you now never have to put points in Bubba again. Right now, if you want to like continually like be maxed out, you got to continually put points in like the older characters. But now if you P3 a character, never have to put points into them again, because like you're not having to relevel that character, and you can put points in like whoever your main is. Really, all you're trying to unlock is like items, add-ons, stuff like that, offerings, and so it's a really good system, and it makes it to where your blood points are spent in a lot more of an efficient way to get things that you want much faster. And if you're curious about how many hours this would add, I didn't rate how many hours this would add. I think I forgot to do that, but I actually made some tweets talking about it. And here's the tweets that I made talking about it. Let me make this a little bit smaller. So again, these are the numbers that I was just talking about, and the hours to grind to max. With the old system, it takes around 6,000 hours in order to get all characters to P350, both survivors and killers. And with the new system, it takes around 2,000. And this is assuming that you get around, I believe it was around 120,000 blood points an hour. And so that would be like around 30k blood points a game, assuming that you can get assuming that you can get 4 games in an hour, around 30k blood points. And the reason why I assume 30k blood points is I'm assuming that like you like combined with the offerings and combined with your blood point gain, you'll get around 30k. Of course, you can get a lot more. Killers can get like 600 or not 600. I can get like 60k a game if they're running like barbecue and chili with like a good point offering. And so, assuming that you get 120k BP a game, or not a game, but an hour, it takes around 2,000 hours in order to max out an account. So with this, if you like stock up on the gatos that are about to come out, or if you're playing with friends with multiple party streamers, or you just get indie games with multiple party streamers, or you're playing with barbecue and chili and like a point offering, or if you're playing with Wiglif and a point offering, this 2,000 hours is most likely going to be significantly less. And of course, it could be longer if you just don't get a lot of blood points. But in all reality, I wouldn't be surprised if when they release this prestige system, within like 3 or 4 months of them releasing it, a big portion of the player base just having maxed out accounts. Like people having all the perks that they could ever want, using any perk build that they could ever want. Because with this system, the ceiling for the max is significantly lower. I believe it's like a third or less than a third. Math. uh, and so everybody that has already put in time is probably much closer to this new ceiling than they were the old one. And anybody that has like prestige their characters is going to be like ahead of the curve. And this is all really good. Like it is like this singular change makes me really happy. And of course, like it doesn't really affect me all that much because I've like maxed out my account multiple times over. But it's something that like the grind is annoying. And I preferably would like rather spend my blood points like unlocking flashlights or unlocking the add-ons that I want. And this system makes it to where like you're pretty much just doing that after you like prestige everybody. And so I like this system a lot more. The only thing, or I should say this before I say like my only like criticism, but like you may be wondering like what's going to happen like with everybody that's already prestige. Like, is there going to be like a reward for having your characters already prestige? Apparently there is going to be a reward, but they've already one of the forum moderators has said that it's not going to be cosmetic and it's not going to be a charm. So maybe it's going to be iridescent shards or blood points. I have no idea. Well, I guess we'll see. And they said they're going to reward you based on each individual prestige. So if you have 5 people prestiged, you're going to get less of a reward than somebody that has 10 people prestiged. They're going to reward you for each prestige that you have. So my only criticism with this system is really that this system makes it to where the gameplay loop needs to be really good. Because even with like really bad games, people will keep on playing because they want to grind out, they want to get their characters to max, they have like that goal of like something that they want to do. And I'm not saying like grind is the only thing keeping people playing Dead by Daylight, but the grind is a pretty decent incentive to get people to keep on playing. It's not the only thing, but it's pretty decent. It's there. And so I do hope that they improve the gameplay loop. Otherwise, this could potentially hurt Dead by Daylight. And it's kind of funny to say because this is a good change. This is a healthy change. But without a good gameplay loop, having that one of the incentives to keep on playing outside of the gameplay loop being taken away, it could spell a bit of trouble for DBD. But I think they're purposely holding off the system. I think the system is probably ready, but I think they're purposely holding off the system so that they can rework the 40 survivor and killer perks that they said they wanted to rework. They said they're like wanting to change up the meta and make it to where like they're changing up like a bunch of the like 40 of the like most used perks. And they're also going to be like adding in some minor gameplay improvements to the base game. And so I think that they're probably going to release this system alongside those gameplay improvements so the gameplay loop can be a bit better, coinciding with the reduction in the grind. So people will have more incentive to keep on playing because the game is more fun rather than them feeling like they need to keep on playing because the grind is so oppressive. And yeah, hopefully this makes sense. Hopefully this like shines a light and like how actually good this system is. I would love to hear what you guys think about this new system. If you want me to talk about anything else that they talked about in the dev stream and kind of explain it a little bit more, please feel free to let me know. The dev stream, just like my short little thoughts, revitalized a lot of my hope for DBD. Obviously, it'll come down to like how good the changes are, for, especially for like the perk thing, but I am a lot more hopeful in DBD than I was like 6 months ago. And so I'm happy about that because I want DBD to be a good game. I've always enjoyed DBD, but like the direction that DBD went in like the past year, I wasn't the most thrilled about. But with this dev stream and with this the Dredge chapter that's coming out, I'm definitely a lot more happier in the direction that we're going in. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching, and have a good rest of your day, everybody. Bye-bye.